This essay loves contradiction and putting sentences against each other and letting them fight. Hi there, and thank you for submitting your essay for assessment at IELTS Juice. Let's read the rubric first. Whether or not someone achieves their aims is mostly by a question of luck. So this topic basically, in simple terms, tells us that if somebody becomes successful, it was mostly because they were lucky. That's it. And I have to say mostly because to a high extent, it was luck, not just their efforts or their dedication or their sacrifices that they made. They wanted to be comfortable, but they decided not to. They had to spend time with for themselves and the family. They didn't. If that's the case, then they were lucky. That's why they were successful. Do we agree with that or not? This is the second part. This is the second element which determines our essay type. And in this case, whether we agree or disagree matters. This one emphasizes on the extent, so we need to be a little careful. Extent can be 100% or 0%. That means you can 100% agree with this or you completely disagree with this. It's fine. Or you might say, no, I agree with this, like 70%, 80%. Of course, these numbers are meaningless when we write. You know, it's not a math exam. So you just need to justify. You need to say whether I am more than 50% towards this or less than 50% towards this. If it's more than 50%, how further? Just slightly more than 50%, or no, you're all the way towards that. So basically, positioning yourself is key, and that might be very difficult for some candidates. That's why you have this question type at IELTS. Anyway, I'm going to read the candidate's response now. All right. It is believed that achieving goals in life is generally a matter of fate rather than of sacrifice and effort. How beautiful is that? That's a beautiful, beautiful sentence. It's a catchy one. It's the first sentence I'm hooked. I want to learn. I want to read more. I want to know what's written here. So far, great. I'm excited. Although luck plays a fundamental role in succeeding in purposes, you don't succeed in purposes. Everybody has a purpose. People have purpose. Whether they become successful is something else. If they achieve their goals is something else. These two words don't collocate very well with each other, meaning they don't come together. To succeed in purpose, not a very good collocation. I think it is not the only variable we can rely on. Let me say this is great. You see there is a missing, which is rightfully missing, omitted, deleted relative pronoun here, that, and it was deleted. That shows some advanced command over the English language and some control over complex structures, and it shows variety. I'm telling you because I want you to see it's not just some complex structure. The ability to know in what areas you can actually delete this and in what areas you're not allowed to is key. And I can see you have that command, so bravo. And let me also say that I love this, the brain behind this that thinks variables. There are multiple variables, and this is just one variable. There are other variables. The use of the word variable and the way you look at things is fascinating here. On the contrary, we have to take into account unforeseen events happening when planning to achieve an aim. Good I'm not sure about this. We already have one contradictory phrasal, what's that? Discourse marker. So in two consecutive sentences, one after another, they both start with a contradiction. It's rather repetitive, just it doesn't add variety. First and foremost. Oh, first and foremost, meaning there are other elements. There are second, third, fourth elements to come. I think that nothing is gifted to us. Wow. Look, this is a simple sentence, but it is beautiful. It's powerful. I agree. I mean, for a second, forget IELTS. This is a powerful sentence. Nothing is gifted to us. Nothing. Nothing has been gifted to us. Nothing will be gifted to us. This is it. Understand it. When we want to achieve a goal, we have to make a significant effort and work hard. Okay, so we cannot say we make significant effort, and we make hard work. We don't make hard work. We work hard. And since the verb doesn't go with make, to match, you start with a verb and then a noun. You need to start with a verb and then the noun. And this is not the noun, but you get the idea. Just to make it rhythmic. Since we want to obtain a specific result, we have to strive for it. It won't simply come to us. I don't like this comma here. I prefer a semicolon. There should be a semicolon here. This is a completely independent sentence or clause. It's a sentence all by itself. So yeah, the message is different. It has its own subject, verb. It's better to say it will not, just for the formality's sake. Not wrong, not wrong. Will not is more formal. For example, a man planned to build his own business one day. Okay, good for him. And in the end, he succeeded and made it. Is this an example? For example, a man planned to build his own business one day, and is it really example? Which man? When? Who? A businessman. Businessman in what? A tailor, an engineer, developer, marketing manager. I have no idea. And in the end, what end? At the end of the year, at the end of his life, at the end of the fiscal year? Oh my God, no, no. Look, this is not an example. These words, the combination of these words do not give me an example. That's my point. This was the result of his perseverance, good word. Not just a lucky gift. This comma is correct. And it is used correctly. And I like it. He, meaning the man, the mysterious man here in the mysterious example, had probably studied hard. I don't need a comma. Again, we need a semicolon. This is independent. He might have saved money to invest in his company. And it may have taken a lot of time to open it. A little bit inconsistency. He had probably studied hard, meaning he studied hard before he opened the shop. Or I really don't know if it's a shop or a factory or it's just a company or an office. I have no idea. It's a company. He might have saved money to invest in his company. Okay. And it may have taken a lot of time. Now we come back to present simple tense. Maybe, and it may have taken a lot of time. Just not wrong, just some inconsistency. That's it. I would have started by saying, yeah, he had probably studied hard, and he had accumulated funds to invest in his company. which took him a lot of time to open, and then you can continue with the message. It all began with this. I mean, these like, how much money? What? I mean, why did it take so much time to open the company? I'm the reader. I'm not to blame. In addition, I believe that we have the power to affect our results. I know, because you probably have heard the power of marketing. You probably have heard that, but that's a noun. When you have the power and you want to make something happen as an action, it's best to say the power to do something, to affect our results. We have to be positive as long as we try hard to obtain what we want. For instance, if a girl, now this time is a girl, okay, is practicing for an exam, okay, makes sense. And if a girl is practicing for an exam and starts thinking she will fail it, this is present continuous. This is present simple. This is future simple. In one sentence, not wrong, but this is inconsistent. What's the time frame? She is practicing. She starts thinking that she will fail. If it's a generic statement, if this girl is an anonymous girl, so it can be anybody, then we should stick to present simple. We don't need all these different tenses. The result is more likely to be negative because we don't need comma, because it creates complex structures. She is setting her mind as she has already failed. Okay, this makes sense, actually, a bit. Good energy, on the contrary, may influence our results in a positive way. Meaning that if she were to think positively, she would be able to get higher results, because it's all hypothetical. It's not a statement, it's a hypothetical scenario. Yeah, this time we have grammar message a bit. Yeah, I mean, for fact, there are elements of it that I do not understand. I do not understand 100% the message the writer wanted to give me. The next body paragraph. On the other hand, despite fate being an affecting element while achieving a goal, it covers only a small percentage, is the correct collocation, of all variables existing, or all the existing variables. Lots of is informal. It's better to say a lot of, or a high number, or a considerable number of people, or you can say a considerable a considerable proportion of the society, or of society, believes, and you continue, that our destiny is already written, and that we have no control over it. Uh-oh. However, now we quickly debunk it. This is wrong. We can change our future by believing in ourselves and working hard. If the girl, in previous sentences, who is preparing for her exam, the exam we didn't know what exam it was, believes that her score has already been decided, she will rely on this belief and will stop practicing. Yeah, we just, basically, this is repetitive. Furthermore, we cannot rely on luck, as it is unpredictable. Oh, as also creates complex structures. That's why we don't need this. For instance, I hope this is an example. The girl cannot rely on the idea that the exam will be easy and that she will have no difficulty in taking it, because she cannot know how difficult the exam will be, and circumstances may not be as favorable as she expects. This is, honest to God, this is not an example. This is another statement. This is really not an example. This is to say that we cannot prevent the future. Who wants to prevent the future? Maybe predict the future or prevent bad events in the future, but you cannot prevent the future comes, whether you like it or not. Not a good collocation. And as a consequence, which is countable, so we need this, we can trust only ourselves and our own efforts. With the meaning, this meaning of effort can be countable, uncountable. I prefer the countable version. That's why, because we're generalizing everything. We're talking about every single individual and their own effort, so it is countable. To conclude, even if I cannot deny the fact that luck has a relevant influence on our success in goals, I believe that it cannot define our results all by itself. Contrarily, this essay loves contradiction and putting sentences against each other and letting them fight. We don't want sentences fighting each other. Really, there are other discourse markers we can use. Like, it is noteworthy to say that we have the power to set our own achievements, again, the same error, by working hard and believing in ourselves. 457 words. Let's look at the band descriptors. So I can say we really positioned ourselves very well. So we talked about variables. So luck is a variable, but there are other variables, and we mentioned some of those variables. We gave not very good examples that falls under this category. We overgeneralized everything. We didn't give good focus. We didn't get deeper than needed. Really, deep here means I don't want to make vague statements. So we could come up with good examples. The example that has time, place, individual, and this is an opportunity for us to show off our range of vocabulary. And then we could continue talking about this as we did further down in other body paragraphs by referring to the individual, and we could again add some more context to it. So in general, I really liked it. It's just not deep enough. The organization is logical. We were supposed to give our own opinion. We gave it, and we gave the exact position we were in. Discourse market, where is it? Yeah, discourse market. We had overuse of these contradiction or contradictory discourse markers. Paragraphing was quite clear, but still, again, paragraphs, when we say the sentence organization, the hierarchy of sentences, the arrangement could have been better. So it stays at 7. Lexical resource, I just had issue with, collocation style, and that's why there were some errors, but I was able to understand, basically. This is not the case for grammar. I had struggles with the understanding of the sentences. I admit we saw a variety of complex structures with variety of control. There's good control. There are relatively error-free. There are some errors, basically not in grammar, mostly in punctuation. And this essay, specifically this one, deserves a 6.5. And I'm very happy to say that. I just hope you pay attention more to the context and to the messages. On that note, I hope I'll be assessing more and reading at the same time and enjoying more essays or maybe task ones from you later on. So take care.